Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Wanna bet?
Steve P. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Steve, what do you always say about your relatives and the English language? What do they do to the English language?
No, hey, my in-laws are generally fine. My mother-in-law has a genuine disrespect and disregard for the English language. Up a stair and doon a stare. Roly-poly Alice.
Now, last episode, we were talking about how Steve and this show were mentioned in a Scottish newspaper, the Press and Journal, about the
all
road.
the in-laws thought was hilarious.
About the road around Loch Ness, which is a disaster.
Yes.
And one of the, I guess, where the road goes to, we thought, Jesse and I thought Loch Ness was a village. We didn't know. We thought there would be like a Loch Ness village
I was
and
shocked
tourist
that
center.
Loch Ness isn't a place.
It is not.
Oh.
It is not.
Well, it's like-
where's the tourist center?
Yeah, like where can I get a Loch Ness shot glass?
Or just
They
a
have
museum?
one. They have
Okay.
one. They have a little shop
See,
on
This is what
a
I'm-
hill.
See, you need to have that.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little hut where you get a stuffed animal that's a Loch Ness
Yeah,
monster.
we're north
Oh,
of-
they have, first of all, Nessie.
Nessie, yes.
The name of the monster is Nessie. Oh, yeah, you can
Or Nessie.
Nessie, yes.
And listen, we're North Americans. We like our catchy shit.
Mhm.
We want kitschy shit wherever we go.
Oh,
I
definitely.
want a Hard Rock Hotel t-shirt at every location I've gone to.
You know what they had was so many of those like cardboard kids books
Oh.
with
Really?
Nessie.
I guess
But
that makes
Nessie's just, he's just friendly.
You know what I saw in someone's home once? They collect Starbucks mugs from everywhere around the world because there's a Starbucks in every
Okay.
country in the world,
So
right?
they're all different then.
So no, but Starbucks has mugs that
For
are
every
like
city.
country or cities, right? So there's a Montreal or a Canada mug, and they go out to every Starbucks they travel to, and they buy those mugs.
I can't hate because I
Do you
did
do
that
that?
a little bit. I don't have them anymore, but I had one from Dubai and I had one from London,
the
England.
Starbucks city
yes,
mug.
the actual mug.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's ridiculous, said Steve, who has 80 NHL figures nailed into the wall.
I couldn't hate. I thought at the
You did
time
that.
it was a novel idea at the time.
No, everybody does.
And I once even bought, they had a summertime hip hop jam CD, and I bought it once at Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Remember they used to sell CDs?
Yeah, they used to sell a lot of Arcade Fire CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Or Nora Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Arkells.
No, I don't think so.
No.
The Arkells are too new for that.
No.
They
Get outta
sold a
here.
lot of boring shit, but this one had Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff on it and a bunch of other great summer hip hop. So I bought it.
Wow.
And I rocked that in my Subaru Baja. It was yellow.
Bright yellow.
The reason I bring up, though, this Scottish newspaper is because in the article, the author says, it is particularly bad during the tourist season when the stretch between Inverness and Drummadridgit is jammed with tour buses and lorries traveling at 40 miles an hour with blind bends aplenty.
Those pesky lorries.
That's right. Now, I couldn't pronounce I couldn't pronounce it. You couldn't pronounce it. And we got somebody who I would never have expected to be a listener who's from Scotland who sent us a video pronouncing it. So please bring her on. What's her name?
Hey guys,
Carolyn.
I can't take your mangling of Scottish towns any longer. The name of the town that you're looking for is Drumnadrochit.
Drum the
Hey
drum.
guys, I can't take your mangling of Scottish towns any longer. The name of the town that you're looking for is Drumnadrochit.
Okay, let's pause that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Drumnadrochit.
Drum the drucket.
Drumnadrochit.
Drum the drucket.
Doesn't sound as good when we say it with our North American tongue.
No, it
Like,
doesn't.
It is. There's a fairy tale wisp to her when she says it. You know.
I've never tried to do this like the real Scottish accent or anything because I don't want to look like a fool in front of my in-laws.
Yeah, your in-laws would probably hate that. a little
Basically, yeah, they'd be like, "That's don't do that."
bit.
Carolyn, by the way, her bio.
Carolyn.
Carolyn Miller, thank you so much, first of all, for that video. That's hilarious. Her bio reads, mom of two, Scottish by birth, Canadian by choice. Oilers fan.
Are you an Oilers fan by choice? At least she's not a Leafs fan by choice.
Edmonton, Alberta.
So we have had
Terrible. I'm terrible.
we have had a a fantastic time with the pronunciation of that. I tried to spell it out. I tried Drumnadrocket.
Drumnadrocket.
No,
Okay,
it's
so
not even close.
No?
I can't speak English properly. Like, how am I supposed to speak Scottish words?
Drumnadrocket.
Like, I don't get it.
Well, it's like a mixture of like, isn't like Welsh is like its own thing, and then there's the Irish, which is Celt, or is it Celtish? Yeah, I don't even know. There's like a mixture. Like, there's a whole bunch of different dialects there.
There's Gaelic.
Gaelic, yeah.
My grandmother-in-law speaks Gaelic.
Oh wow,
Speaks
Nice.
it. Yeah.
holy!
Yeah.
It's cool that people can.
It's cool that people can, and they're from a very remote place. It is a miracle we met. It's a straight
just not
miracle we met.
Yes, right. That
That's
they just happen to leave and come here, and you happen to be here. Yeah.
Have you ever considered learning another language?
Oh yeah, all the time. And my brain's like, no, how about hockey facts? And I'm like, all right. I don't know. The compartment for hockey facts is enormous. Other languages, it's like, you might remember how to ask to go to the bathroom if you go to Quebec.
I always have tremendous respect for people that do. Like when you see on the F1 like Drive to Survive show where Toto Wolff's talking, he's talking Italian, and then he's talking German, and then he's talking English, and he's making jokes in all of those, and like he can speak French as well. And like, I don't know, there's people that are, I think part of it's being European as well. If you grow up in certain areas, you know, a couple streets down the road, they speak a completely different language, and you got to learn that too.
So a guy like that, I always think about when I think about languages is Roger Federer. Because Roger Federer, he's Swiss. He's from Switzerland. So
4 official languages.
4 languages, and
Home of Timo Meyer.
and he's not born in America, speaks perfectly English. Every Grand Slam, like, he'll win if they do the speech at the end, speaks whatever country they're in, he knows that language fluently. Incredible human.
It's amazing.
You know, and I guess because, like you're saying, you grow up in that part of the world, there's so many different languages, and if you're ambitious enough to learn all of them, you can. And like him at that professional level, he's traveling the world, he knows all these languages.
Yeah, if you're well-traveled. Leo Komarov was like that. He was
Estonian, Russian, Swedish guy, or Finnish, or whatever.
born in Estonia, raised in Finland, went to a Swedish school, played in Russia, and obviously learned English.
Right.
So he knew like 5 languages.
Well, and you look at too, it's so interesting the way I guess it's all laid out there, and I guess this is the case anywhere, but like Italy, there is what you would expect Italians to sound like, right? So like in Formula One, Matteo Binotto sounds like an Italian. He's the head of, at the time he was not like that. But like, he's the head of Ferrari.
I couldn't even bring myself to do.
I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? And then there's a guy named Gunther Steiner,
Yeah.
who's from northern Italy, which is near the Germany border.
Yeah.
He sounds German, speaks Italian, is Italian.
There was a guy on TikTok who was talking about, oh yeah, I went to the store to get fresh mutts, and then someone just stitched him with this. Stop. The fuck is that? Fresh mutts? Stop that.
Low-key impressive on our network, Cax, Carell Amard, who hosts Noxie at Cax, didn't speak English for like her childhood. She grew up in a small town in Quebec, and she speaks French. That's her first language. And
Now she has a
she's
podcast.
learned English, and she does a podcast in English.
Why not simply podcast in a different language?
All right.
Why
It's
not?
just
Amazing.
It's low-key impressive.
Oh no,
You know?
it's high key impressive. I'm
High-key.
impressed. I'm blown away. That's the thing. It's the different language thing. I guess what people do say though is there are some similarities, especially when you get into the continental languages. Like English is its own, because English is a blend of French, Northern German, some Latin, it's got 5 times the amount of words that French does. I think
English is the hardest language to learn.
one of them. Yeah.
6 languages wearing a trench coat.
Right, and it's you know, there's 250,000 English words where there'd be 50,000 French words.
Yeah.
So
Really?
so yeah, apparently now
And all of the exceptions
Yes.
that the English language has for no reason.
yes. So when you're conjugating in French, in Italian, in German, there's some similarities there, but you get into English, it's like there's none of this shit makes
There's
sense.
real-
There's apostrophes, sometimes there isn't. We don't know.
When I did the KHL highlights in 2013 and 2012 with Andre, I was amazed how little of the English language I was able to explain. Like, why do you do this? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just because.
It's just, yep. It's just, that's how we do it.
But there's like pluralizing, like the apostrophe S, and then there's like the ownership So we have plural and ownership.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a very weird thing.
It was a lot of like, you don't realize how often you use a colloquialism in everyday speech. That if you didn't understand the context of the slang term, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so along that line, when I was writing like an essay in grade 8 or grade 9, and my dad is a former journalist, so he used to go through my paper and go like, here's where your syntax sucks.
Idiot.
And hey, idiot,
Stupid.
And obviously he didn't do a great job. But when he there was a phrase, you've used this phrase, hey, I'm used to that.
I'm used to
that. Well, he's like, what does that mean exactly? And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, he said, think of the word used.
Yeah.
I'm used to. It literally, he said, it's a slang term. It's so much a part of the language, but you're not used to do anything. You're not a tool. Well, he's like, well, sometimes you're a tool.
Hey,
But
The sentence doesn't even make sense when you break it down.
It doesn't make sense. And he's like, if you're going to put that in a paper in university, which he thought it was going to go to, God bless him.
You went and just...
I went. I just didn't stay. The whole thing is they're gonna ding you on that. They're gonna come after you for that because he's like, you're not good at math, so you're gonna go in one of the arts. Probably you're gonna be writing a lot, and you're gonna need to take that shit out of your language.
This sounds very
my parents
mean.
were very like, here, straight up. You're not good at it. We're not good at it. Like, let's be honest about
Bless
this.
your dad for thinking you'd be good at anything. Am I right?
No, he was very encouraging. But you know what I'm saying? So we got hung up for like half an hour, and he's like, try to find me another phrase that works for that. And I couldn't figure it out. I was so stuck on, I'm used to this. But I am used to this.
Accustomed.
Accustomed would have been it. But I was
familiar. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Isn't that wild?
Right. You must have picked up a lot of weird Russian stuff doing the KHL.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know some parts of the Russian language.
Mostly swear words, yeah.
Russians must have dark
Mostly
sayings.
swear words.
I think they've got, like, Russians seem to have a very dark humor. And I'm pulling the politics out of it. It just seems to be like when you talk to Russians, they're very like, it's very like dark humor. And one thing that I've noticed, my grandfather spoke Russian, was he was like, they don't say I, they say for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I like this show. For me, it was a good show.
They don't have...
If you're translating
Yes.
what they're saying,
Yeah.
literally, yeah.
They don't have this and that.
Right.
They just have this.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were dropped off in Moscow, could you carry yourself around? Like, could you read some stuff? And
Oh, I could get my ass kicked.
could you?
I would just
swear at people.
Oh, you could.
That's a good idea.
That's all you remember from doing KHL highlights.
Well, and I
The
could
swear words?
I mean, he was in his early 20s,
and like
too.
goal calls and stuff.
And
like
you know how
that,
to pronounce all the team names, which are really difficult.
But you couldn't
Yeah.
find a washroom.
No,
Okay.
no, because when would I have ever needed that? Like, all right, Amur Khabarovsk is down 4-1 to Sibir Novosibirsk. Where's the bathroom?
right. Fair
Never
enough.
needed it.
Andre didn't try to teach you a little Russian.
He did give me a book that I have, and I don't know, when the fuck would I have learned a language, man? Like,
Hey, man,
it's
I was too
difficult.
busy doing LFRs.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult. I wonder if it's easier in like, it must be easier when you're a kid. The other thing that always messes me up, and I swear to God, we'll get to sports in a second,
Nah.
is people that
Nah.
grow up with the language, move to a new country, or immerse themselves in another language and forget their previous language.
Because they're not using it.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Isn't that crazy how the mind works?
Yeah.
And they'll go back and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know what they're saying, and I can figure it out." But like, I know, like, one of my friends is Iranian. He has forgotten how to speak it.
My mom's losing her Italian because she used to speak it to my Nona like almost every day.
Right.
And then Nona passed, obviously, and so she hasn't spoken it on a daily basis for like the better part of a decade.
Wow.
So
They say that you really learn a language when you start dreaming in that language.
my favorite, and maybe we'll leave it here. My favorite story is so Andre and I would record videos in his apartment, and his girlfriend would be there just off camera. And for the duration of my visit, they would speak English so I could be in on the conversation. And he messaged me once. He's like, we spoke English for half an hour after you left before we realized that's what we were doing.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And one of them just asked the other in Russian, like, can we stop?
It's probably easier.
Like, we don't need to do this anymore.
I want to bring this up. LeBron James officially broke the NBA scoring record last night after 20 seasons in the league. Weird
20?
Weird LeBron stat from Lev Abascus of Sportico. LeBron has a higher overall points per game with the Lakers than he did with either the Cavs or the Heat.
What?
So imagine, like, Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or Wayne Gretzky have a higher points per game when they're almost 40.
The craziest stat I saw was LeBron James had more points in a Cavs uniform than Larry Bird in his entire career.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What?
We don't give enough credit to longevity when we talk about greatness. The greatest of all time have the longevity, and this is the example of it. Tom Brady there as well. And like, if you're able to defeat Father Time, that's a skill in and of itself. Like that's an incredible thing, and that adds to your greatness. And I think with LeBron's legacy, you look at MJ and his 6 titles and 6-0 and never defeated. But LeBron just been able to do it for longer, you know, and that should be a point in the category, the LeBron category. It's just so impressive.
Are there rumors like about when he's retiring?
No. Kareem, who he passed, who was there last night, Kareem retired at 42 or 43, I believe. So there's some precedence here for LeBron pushing this thing and going into his 40s and still playing.
He wants to play with his kid, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Bronny. Yeah.
Bronny and
I think that's a CJ-ism, or at least I don't know if he says it on the show or not. But one of the smartest things...
I'm from Coburg.
Yeah, other than that, that is also a CJ-ism.
That's a good CJ impression.
We should make a shirt.
I'm from Coburg, and I'm going to run there. Chris Johnston.
I had this. Remind me to come back. I have an idea for CJ, by the way, and I'm just gonna say it on the
Coburg
show.
shirts.
Yeah, I love
from
that.
Coburg.
Wouldn't it be great if we do a live show with CJ and Julian, like in Coburg, and just everybody's wearing?
We're talking about this for 40 years.
Well, it's
longer than LeBron's career.
We're doing it. We're doing it in July.
When?
We're doing it in July. We're gonna do it in July.
When?
But
like what day specifically?
CJ's a CJ-ism is longevity is a skill unto itself. Like being able to last. No, but like as in like
you said I'm Jesse Blake.
Yeah, you didn't say I'm
Watch
Chris
me
Johnson.
Produce.
He always talks about, like, you know, talking about people, athletes, people in any career, because sometimes people get bored, sometimes they don't try, sometimes they don't care, or sometimes their just skill diminishes, and you know, it goes for any career.
Well, and like Crosby and Ovechkin, it's kind of wild that not only are they not done, but they're not like particularly close.
Yeah,
to being done. Like what they will, and you guys will like this, choose to retire.
Yes.
Unlike Jerome McKinley.
It won't be foisted upon them.
It won't be them not being able to find a job. They'll just choose to retire.
No, I'm sure Jerome just didn't get the phone call because he was out of cell reception somewhere in the mountains.
Beat your ass.
I do want to.
That year with the Colorado Avalanche was great.
It was great.
Everybody
it was 3
loved,
years.
Everybody
and no,
loved that.
Yeah, but it might as well have been one, right? Okay, so here's the idea I have for the CJ event, because they brought it up on the last show. So here's my idea. Okay. Because CJ's a runner and he's from Coburg. What if we closed down like a parking lot there and we did what we call the CJ half K? So instead of a 5K, it's a half a kilometer. Everybody has to run a half K.
The 500 meters?
Yeah.
So we're going to sprint?
Yeah, and then you get a beer at the end of it, and then you go and watch CJ and Julian do their live show. The CJ half K.
100-meter dash.
Yeah.
No,
well, you don't even have to run hard. Don't run hard.
No, sprint 100-meter dash.
No
We're
sprinting.
doing it on a track field. New idea.
I just feel like if you're going to see CJ live, you must live as CJ does.
No, we should do he goes for a full run. Kevin Hart, when he was on his comedy tour, every stop he would do, because he goes on a morning run, and he would say, fans, I'm going on a morning run at this time. You join us. And he'd have like 50 people on a run with him every morning.
Like Forrest Gump?
Yeah, CJ should do that. We should get everybody out. You want to go on a run with CJ, and then during the morning of the live event in Coburg, he goes on his full run. You do it with CJ.
Who is the mayor?
Imagine we can get 30 people going down the street. That'd be so much fun.
Sure we could get the mayor.
Let's get the mayor.
Who's the mayor?
CJ probably went to high school with them.
Can we get CJ Day in Coburg, and we get him the key of the city?
Oh, I love that.
Now, This is gonna.
It's a lot of pressure to put on CJ.
We got to get our live show in Guernsey out of the way first.
No,
but this show has potential. I really like it.
Lucas Cleveland,
Lucas
the
Cleveland.
48th mayor of the town of Coburg.
It's funny that he's named after another city.
It is funny.
Yeah, you're the mayor of the wrong city there, Lucas.
Mr. Cleveland of Coburg. But yeah, okay, Lucas Cleveland.
Let's give him a call.
Oh yeah.
Can we get the mayor of
I'm sure
Coburg?
you could just like hit up City Hall and be like, "Hello, it's Lucas." Like it's like that's the fun thing. That's the fun thing about small towns. Is you call City Hall and someone picks up.
I've told the story many times, but the day John Tavares was traded from the Oshawa Generals to the London Knights, I could not get a hold of anybody from either team. The mayor of Oshawa, first ring.
No way.
You called them directly?
I called him directly. I called his cellular phone. John Gray speaking. And I went, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Wow. That's cool.
I'm sure we can get Lucas Cleveland to this event.
All right, Mr. Cleveland.
Let's do this.
I like it a lot. So Jesse, I sent you this tweet from S, and he's pointing out S being from the Objective Basketball Podcast. By the way, tomorrow they're going to do a live stream for the trade deadline in advance of everything, and it's going to be very exciting. He and Lauren, 2 hours. On the most exciting trade deadline in sports. I'm not trying to denigrate the NHL when I say that. The NBA trade deadline is bananas all the time. And it looks as though the Brooklyn Nets may move off of Kevin Durant.
I've never seen a wild card like the Brooklyn Nets who could sell the whole thing or buy and go for it.
Right.
Like they're being linked to the Raptors, I saw, and I'm like, okay, in what regard? Are the Raptors getting Kevin Durant? Probably not.
The Raptors,
I mean, maybe.
the Raptors could be one of those teams that, like, if OG actually wants out, it's like, well, I guess maybe the Raptors could buy.
Maybe, or you send, like, Siakam to the Nets. Like, I have no idea. What a fascinating team. And Kyrie Irving with all the self-awareness in the world.
Saying he finally feels respected. Well, so do we have the picture up on screen, Jess?
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, so the picture up on screen, and here's what everybody's talking about, and this is what I can't stand sometimes about the internet. That picture is phenomenal. He's going for the fade. You know it's going to happen. Everybody's looking up. That should be on a poster. But everybody's looking at what the crowd is doing. What's the crowd doing?
Everyone's on their phone.
Right. Because of course you would be. Because that's the basket where he breaks the all-time record, and you're there for a piece of history. And let me just say this. Everybody's given that picture a lot of shit because of that. But I looked at that and I thought, well, 50 years ago, they all would have been holding cigarettes. So the phones seem to be better.
Well, also, what do you care? What do you care?
Let them have the picture, man. They paid to be there.
No one forced you to put a phone in your hand and cover your... Like, who gives a shit? Also, like, you know who two of the people are in that photo holding up phones? His kids.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the guy next to them who's not holding up a phone?
Who is that?
Phil
That
Knight.
is Phil Knight, the guy who invented Nike. He's sitting next to Bronny and LeBron's other kid, and he's not holding up a phone.
that's
because he's seen too much.
That's how rich Phil Knight is.
Yeah.
Is he has the tickets to be at a game like that and be on the line at a basketball at the net when it happens.
Not even that. He gets the seat next to the kids of the guy who's breaking the record.
Yeah.
He's sitting right next to Bronny. That's how important Phil Knight is.
That's
But
flex money.
Phil Knight's sitting there being like, "Oh, this is another thing is happening with my shoes."
Does he have like an odd
LeBron?
British accent? Isn't he American?
You're wearing my sneakers. Everybody look at the sneakers. That's Phil Knight.
Why does he speak like friggin' the guy who owned Selfridges?
I don't. That's how he speaks.
LeBron, that was quite the baskets that you got in those shoes that you bought at Selfridges.
Those shoes look splendid.
That was an odd choice for that guy, by the way. Right after Entourage, and he went on to be
Jeremy Piven?
Jeremy Piven went on to be the Selfridges guy. It was weird.
Very odd.
Let's talk to Dave. And then I want to talk to you about one of the weirdest
Hockey?
happenings I've ever seen. I know. One of the weirdest hockey happenings I've ever seen. And I don't think this is what's driving me a little nuts sometimes. We are burying some of the best stories in hockey right now. We are burying this story. It's one of the best stories. There's intrigue. Because it's hockey, there's a little bit of physicality. And there's fan video, which we're allowed to play. Royalty free, baby.
Oh, let's go.
How much do we love that?
A lot.
So we'll get into that right after DB.
You can bet that with David Bastel. Brought to you by Sports Interaction. Get in the action and make a play. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Dave, Super Bowl week, and somehow you have managed at Sports Interaction to cross hockey and football to get people like Steve, who didn't watch all season, into it.
That's exactly what we did.
So,
Steve, are you ready for this one?
I'm so ready.
I like this. Go ahead, Dave.
So it's part of our cross sports props. We've included basketball, baseball, EPL. So today we're going to talk some NHL. So here it is on Super Bowl Sunday in the afternoon, 1:30 start. I know you guys are going to be anxiously awaiting the Sharks versus the Capitals.
Whoa.
And it's on the top of your watch list. I'm sure it is. So the reason you're going to watch that is because you're going to be looking for shots on goal for Erik Karlsson and Alex Ovechkin. Mm-hmm. And you're going to add those shots on goal and decide whether or not that's going to be more or less than Travis Kelce receptions in the Super Bowl game.
Who came up with this, Dave? Who came up with it? I love it.
I'm taking the shots on that. I know the odds are even right now. I'm taking the shot.
Me too.
Taking the shots for sure.
Can you guys be my football translator?
So,
like what?
Travis Kelce's probably going to have somewhere in between 7 to 9 receptions.
What position
Correct.
does Travis Kelce play?
Tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, but he's their number one
For the
receiver.
Kansas City Chiefs.
He's their number one option. He's going to receive the most targets.
7 to 9.
So if it's a really great game, it might hit like 11, but like we're thinking 7 to 9-ish, you know? So, but I think if we're looking at this bet and we're trying to win it, we're probably going to side with Karlsson and Ovi, because I'm thinking like 5 shots out of Ovi, 4 out of Karlsson. If there's 9, that's the top end of Kelce, so you're probably leaning towards the hockey
I
players.
watched Karlsson play last night against Tampa. He is like one of 3 good players on San Jose. It's crazy.
But the 3 good players they have are unreal.
They're really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go shots. I'm going to go shots.
Okay, I broke down some numbers for you. So Alex Ovechkin is averaging 4.3 shots per game this season through 52. And Erik Karlsson, 2.53. So it's a total of 6.83. So round up to 7. It's closer than you think, guys. I'm actually leaning Kelce right now.
That's a lot less shots on goal from Erik Karlsson than I thought.
Yeah, but the Sharks are bad at defense.
This is true.
And the Capitals are sometimes bad at defense. I'm going the hockey one because it's funny.
That is very close. Wow.
There you go.
All right, Dave. And the other one is a very quick one on Rihanna. And I love this one because obviously,
Diamonds!
No, we were talking about her first song. What's her opening song going to be?
Don't Stop the Music is a lock now.
You think so?
Yeah, I've done a little digging, and I think it's a lock.
Why do you think that?
Somebody broke it down like in a really great way. It's got to be a banger. It's got to be a recognizable song. And the intro of that song, when it comes out, that sounds like a Super Bowl opener.
Interesting.
I love the analysis, Jess. This is fantastic. You're bang on. Yeah, I'm on board. I'm subscribing to your newsletter.
What if it's like a dramatic shine bright like
It's not. It never is.
It never is?
If you look back in the history of the Super Bowl halftime performances, it's never that dramatic big opening. It's that one hit smash that comes out.
What if she wants to be difficult?
Then you lose the bet.
She's being difficult with that new album. Been waiting for like 8 years for that. Dave, the other thing you can bet on with Rihanna is what?
Yes. What color will her hair be? What is she going? Now, black is the favorite. Black is the big time favorite, but she's been known to change it up a lot. So we have blonde, red, pink, purple, and blue. Blue's the heavy underdog at 16 to 1. And like I said, black is almost even money. It's one of those things where it's like, nah, she's not going to change anything. But it's the Super Bowl halftime. Things are a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? So it might be worth the flyer.
Man,
thinking pink.
I just looked at it. She's done blue hair a lot, and that's the
wow.
That's the lowest. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, she has changed her hair a lot this season.
I think it's going to be silver, and it's going to be in the shape of the trophy.
That's a pretty big do. I like that.
Dave, we're going to have you on again Friday, sir. We're already looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Listen, it's hard to stick to working out. And it was especially hard during the pandemic when, we were like one of the most locked down areas in North America. So I'll be honest, I invested in a Peloton and it really, really helped up here. along with some other things as
It's
well.
funny you call it an investment because it was truly an investment in your health and your well-being.
Yes. And I think it's funny. I have a buddy that's a trainer, and he said usually when people are cutting back, the thing that goes first is one of the things that's the most important, which is your physical health, right? And so Peloton is more than just a bike. Everybody knows that Peloton makes bikes, but there's so much more than that. They also make treadmills. They have tons of classes like yoga, strength training, HIIT, and boxing, and you can do it all at home. And they've got a variety of instructors with different training backgrounds and styles. And obviously, good music because you get to choose your music, right?
Really good music.
Yeah, I like that. I always go with the 80s, as you can tell, as I'm sure you know. What's your if you're going to ride for half an hour? What's your playlist?
Oh,
Like,
I
what's
do
your-
the.
what's
Oh
your vibe?
man, now you're making me name them. I don't know, but it's. I tend to. I would fit in just great at any regular live Peloton class because I don't know. I just need like Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion.
Jesse's embarrassed.
I don't care. That's all I need.
It's fitness
As I ride through the Scottish countryside.
It's fitness at all levels. You don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton classes for every level. Try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home day trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.ca/trial. onepeloton.ca/home-trial. Okay, so I wake up this morning and I see one of the craziest stories I've ever seen in hockey. And not enough is happening. Somebody who
Not enough is happening.
not enough is being made of this story. Natasha Gershon, who I believe listens to the show as well,
Because only
works
a
at,
handful of teams are playing.
Yeah. She's a hockey writer for Back Sports page. She posted this, and it's from TSN. The Panthers are investigating an incident between Viktor E. Ratt and a Lightning fan last night.
Its name is Viktor E. Ratt.
They're because remember they threw rats on the ice whenever they won.
The Stars have a mascot named Viktor E. Green.
Well, Viktor E. Ratt is the Panthers mascot.
Oh my
You
God.
guys got to get
now-
more original.
now-
It's the Wildcats versus the
Now,
Wildcats.
Jesse,
Oh my God.
hold off on that video. Let me read first what's happening.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Play the video and you tell me what you think is
Yeah,
happening.
can you explain this to people on audio?
Okay,
as
so
well?
I'm going to let you guys watch the video. You guys tell me what you see. Viktor E. Ratt in the stands at the Panthers game. Go ahead.
This man is literally trying to put.
This guy's like getting into a physical altercation. He's jerseying the rat. He's literally jerseying the dude in the mascot costume. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing
Okay, all
that?
right. So that is some fan
And
footage.
it's 7-1 for the Panthers,
That is
by
some
the way.
fan footage.
And now he's like cheering, gesturing to the crowd. Oh, that dude's wasted. He's clearly the drunkest guy in the building or just an enormous asshole. What are you doing to the
So
rat?
Lightning fan jerseyed the Panthers mascot at a Panthers game
That's right. Let me read you the story.
while
okay.
the Lightning were losing 7-1.
And by the way, big shout out to the David R. David 954 FLA. He's the official host of the Florida Cats Hockey Podcast. He's the one with the video on this one. And so this is nuts. Okay, so there's an investigation happening because a young man wearing a Lightning t-shirt pulled Victor's jersey over his head and swung him over a railing in the 100 level while yelling, "Go Bolts." He also turned to the ice and yelled, "You still suck," apparently to Florida players. The fan also told the mascot, "You suck, Big Rat." The mascot's handler and an usher were in the tunnel and appeared to stand by and watch as the
they
fan
did.
continued to grab the mascot and pull his jersey over his head while the play was going on. Now, I as a human being understand that assault is a crime. But I also think the story is kind of funny.
I'm sorry. You suck, Big Rat.
Why didn't anybody do anything?
Well, it's okay. Play the video again.
I don't understand.
You'll see the usher. You'll see the handler.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm like, what are you doing? Look at
Why doesn't he do his job?
walk up from the
Because that
stairs.
dude is clearly absolutely.
Just watching. Just watching.
Yeah, just do something.
Just watch. Like,
he's recording it on his phone.
I didn't realize how much
No,
he hung
that
him over
guy's
that
the
ledge.
handler. This guy down here.
No, I was looking at the
Oh, you're
bald
looking
guy.
at that
The bald
guy.
guy's
That's the
security,
usher.
isn't he?
Yeah,
he's
that's
the
the usher. Yeah, this guy's the handler.
That guy's the.
And the handler does nothing.
Yeah,
he like tries to help the Lightning fan here.
And look at how much he pulls him over
the
that
jersey.
Yeah, no fans, no one got up to. I can forgive the fans because they might be sitting there like, is this
a bit?
A bit?
Yeah.
Sure. That would be my thought.
Is this for the Jumbotron?
And then what if you tackle the guy and you're the idiot who tackled like a Panthers employee in the middle of a skit? But yeah, what the hell is his handler doing? I guess.
Well, if the
didn't want to get beat up at their job,
if the handler jumps in, I bet you fans jump in. Because if the handler jumps in, then you know it's not a joke.
Like,
right?
Yeah.
If the handler's not jumping in, you're going, of course this is a joke.
So, a little bit more info. It looks like Viktor E. Ratt throws the Lightning's guy's jersey into the crowd. Okay, so let's unpack this. So look here.
But we don't know how he obtained the jersey.
How did he get it though?
But he threw it.
Okay, so
what do we think he jerseyed the guy?
Watch the first couple seconds. Watch the first. See that jersey in his hand? Viktor E. Ratt has a Lightning jersey in his hand. He's gonna chuck it. And he chucks it. He chucked that dude's jersey. So before this video starts, like we're starting in the middle here.
Yeah.
Viktor E. Ratt, for some reason, is holding that guy's jersey.
I got a question about that. If you're a mascot,
yes,
and we played gritty feeding the alligators last time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you just wanna at some point snap?
Oh, like
and is it
just rock the guy?
Is it possible that he'd finally had enough of being tortured by drunk Lightning fans where he was like, okay, I've had it. I'm taking this guy's jersey.
There are two people in this world in particular you never want to mess with. Number one, if you ever go to a bar and the bouncer is tiny.
Oh, no.
They'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And number two, any mascot ever. Every mascot I've ever met outside of their suit is ripped like an old shirt.
They better be.
They're all in incredible shape. One of the most jacked people I've ever met is the dude who used to be Duke the dog. Like the feats of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Duke the dog used
From the Marlies, by the way.
to hang off of the glass with his knees.
A lot of mascots are gymnasts.
Carlton the Bear, the current Carlton the Bear, can do a backflip in the suits.
Yep.
They will rock your shit. Guaranteed they will rock your shit. And this rat is just thinking about, I mean, it's Florida. No one needs a reason to fire you. They can just do it because they had a bad day. So he's probably just chilling there. And the unfortunate thing is there's actually a really handy book called Why You Should Never Attack a Mascot, but it's currently banned in Florida. So this guy hadn't read it.
So what I'm thinking here with this jersey revelation we got here, I'm thinking Lightning fan, Viktor E. Ratt, he goes to the handler. He says, can you get the mascot to jersey me? And then I get to jersey the mascot and I can film it. My buddy here can film it. So maybe Viktor E. Ratt, before this video starts, jerseys the Lightning fan. That's why he has the Lightning fan's jersey in his hand. Then now it's his turn to jersey Viktor E. Ratt. And it's all just set up for them to do it so he can get it on video.
That's
my wild
I don't
theory.
hate the premise. Here's another one, and I just want to throw this out. You know, sometimes when you got a friend, especially in your 20s, and you're joking around, and then all of a sudden, because they're drinking, it turns serious.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, and they forget that it's supposed to be a joke, and and there's like a perceived slight because they're fucking blotto.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if Viktor E. Ratt maybe took his jersey on camera as like a joke.
Yeah.
And was going to give it back. And then the guy was like, this isn't a fucking joke anymore.
He forgot that a guy in a giant mascot costume was doing it and not like another dude. It's supposed to be a joke.
Like think about what he said to Viktor E. Ratt.
Yeah.
like he said, go Bolts, while he was hanging him over the railing. And then he said, the fan also told the mascot, you suck, big rat. I feel like he took this joke a little too far. I do feel like this is probably lighthearted to start, and it just, when you're past the point of drinking where it's not anymore.
I like that idea. I think maybe it plays out. Viktor E. Ratt finds a Lightning fan. He goes up to him. He does some playful bullying.
Yes.
Grabs the jersey. He's like, la, 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 you suck. We're up 7-1. This guy drunk as fuck, reacts like this and attacks the mascot.
And the score is important,
and then the
Jesse.
handler is thrown off because he's like, oh my gosh, he was just nudging him and having fun, and now look, and I'm frozen.
I don't want to slander
That's
this
a very good
potentially
idea.
stone sober man, but you suck big rat is not a sober sentence. that is a blackout drunk hungover as fuck.
By the way,
yeah.
the Panthers did win 7-1.
Good for them.
You could tell the Lightning were not off vacation.
No, they were still having
They were
fun.
in Cabo.
Yeah.
Oh my
By the way,
God.
if you're the Lightning, do you need to take a vacation or do you take a 20-minute drive down the street to your beach?
Probably that. Or like, I don't know, maybe you don't want to be in Florida.
Travel to Alaska. We'd
Travel
like to be
to-
colder, please.
Yeah. I want to be where it's dark or light. Whichever one it is at least it's that all of the time. Is it dark or light there now?
It's like,
I don't
finally,
know.
I'm at a place that really means like committed to something.
Yeah.
It's dark or it's light. There is no in between.
Remember Sarah Palin was like the most famous person on Earth?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could see Alaska from her house.
like a
or not
year.
Russia from her house. That's what it was.
Yep.
Russia.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see Alaska also.
Also that. So anyway, that is the story of Viktor E. Ratt as we know it so far.
We need a follow up.
I know.
We need a follow-up.
We do need a follow-up. We do need a follow-up. But I just figured if we're going to start with hockey, we should start with that. Now, Jesse, we can't play the video from this, but we can, I think, play a little of the audio. Bo Horvat scored last night. His first game for the Islanders. And I don't know if you know this about Islanders fans, but they are loud.
A little loud.
And their reaction to him doing this is pretty spectacular. You got to think about the pressure, right? He's gone to the All-Star game and had to put on an Isles jersey without ever playing a game. Then he goes out and he signs a $64+ million contract. I'm going to be here for 8 years, conceivably, right?
Ideally.
And there's pressure because he's got to be the one that scores the goal. And everybody is going, okay, it's nice that you've scored like this all year, Bo, but can you do it again season after season? Because we've never seen you do it before. So he scores, and how do Islanders fans...
they're gonna get mad. NHL's gonna get mad at us.
Oh, are they? Okay.
No, yeah.
Well,
the
they chanted his name.
They chanted Bo Horvat, and I just think that's cool.
I think it's extremely cool. And it's good that he got one. And you know what's funny is the guy in the building who I think was most excited wasn't Bo Horvat. It was Matt Barzal. He was like,
Whoa.
I found him.
What a pass.
What a pass. And I like, just look at can you show the screenshot that's on your screen right now? His face suggests, oh, you and I are going to be very good friends. You and I are going to make beautiful ice hockey music together. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year, but there was an energy in that building that I know you wish you could have showed that suggests this train might just run away.
One day, we will get highlights rights from the NHL. One day.
I don't think we will.
One day we will.
They won't
John Boy did it.
They won't credential us.
One day. Listen, credentials first.
Okay.
We're going to walk before we can run.
Yeah.
Or in this case, literally crawl before we can walk.
Yeah.
One day we'll get there.
I'll just say we applied for credentials from the NBA, and they also said no. But they were much
so
nicer
much
about
cooler
it.
about it. They're like, how do we help you next time?
Yeah. How do we help you next time? We're going to watch you with interest. Thank you for covering our league. The NHL went, hello, your access is denied. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, they did the auto form where you check the box and it sends an automatic email.
By the way,
Alright, cool, thanks.
what Steve is telling you is true. The NBA did do that, which is
Yes.
They were
very,
very
cool.
nice to us.
Yeah.
But they still said no.
But they still said no.
But they were very nice with their no.
Yeah, but their no was so, it made me feel good about
It's
myself.
like, but it's an eventual, like, listen, keep at it, kiddo. You'll get there.
Should I apply for Blue Jays credentials?
Yes, why not?
Come April?
just for the shit of it.
Yeah,
Like, just
for the bit.
Yeah.
For the bit.
we should see who's
TFC.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? CPL, Argos.
I feel like, okay, so here's the thing.
NLL.
MLSE has never denied us. They're always super cool.
Yeah, it's different. We're going to the league, right?
Yeah. The league has always denied us. MLSE's been like, yeah, whatever, do what you want.
Leafs have been cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to get into some serious hockey stuff, but it has nothing to do with the plays or the games that have really happened. We'll get into some of that stuff. I know there's a Mangiapane kick or non-kick that we need to talk about.
Wow.
Calgary Trouba.
Oh yeah, that's
That was
coming
fun.
too. But the first thing I want to tell you about is the Flyers. And I would, if I could, it's going to take a minute. You're going to have to listen through this. I'd like to compliment the Flyers.
Oh,
We are hard on the Flyers, especially lately,
yes.
because We don't know what the Flyers are.
Mhm.
The Flyers are supposed to be what, guys? What are the characteristics you associate with Philly and hockey?
It's supposed to be tough and Broad Street bullies and tough.
And they're supposed to win games.
Yeah, no one's ever really dropped the Broad Street Bullies thing. It's still kind of going.
Yeah.
The expectations of Flyers. And also, get no goaltending.
Yes. Also
But
true.
be tough.
What a weird brand.
Yeah.
Have no goaltender,
We're going to
but try
punch
to
you.
win.
You're going to score, but we're going to punch you
We're
first.
going to beat the shit out of you while you beat the shit out of the back of our nets.
Yeah. So I would just like to say this to John Tortorella. And let me before I set this up, name a couple other times, and I can think of two, where teams have written open letters to their fans.
The greatest organization on earth, the New York Rangers, did it best. Thank you for following in our footsteps, Philadelphia.
What did they do, Jesse? Can you remember anything about that story?
Yeah, it was in the middle of the rebuild. What was it? 4 years ago now. They were trading everybody, and everyone was wondering, okay, so like, what's happening here with the New York Rangers? And they sent out a letter from the president at
Jeff
the time.
Gordon and Glenn Sather.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon.
I have it here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And
And they talked about how openly they are going to take a step back to try and get the team into a better place.
And look at them.
And now look, they got Laugh. They started to rebuild. They got a bunch of good pieces, and now look at them.
this
Eastern
is
Conference Final.
It's so funny how things change because February 8th, 2018 doesn't seem that long ago.
4 years.
Yeah.
What? 4 years today?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa! Oh my
Isn't
God!
that's
actually?
nuts. So that's a good. So this
Hey,
is
look at that.
Wait, 2018.
2018.
Five.
Five.
Five, yeah, 2020.
Well
Sorry,
timed
my
by the Flyers here, but as
Wow.
we approach, here's what they say, and I'm going to jump forward.
This is the Flyers letter.
This is the Rangers letter.
The Rangers letter. Okay.
As we approach the trade deadline later this month and into the summer, we will be focusing on adding young, competitive players that combine speed, skill, and character. This may mean we lose some familiar faces, guys we all care about and respect. While this is a part of the game, it's never easy. Our promise to you is that our plans will be guided by one singular commitment, ensuring that we are building the foundation of our next Stanley Cup contender. There are no fans like Rangers fans. You're passionate, you're loyal, and you fill the Garden every night. Don't worry, I'll pull up the Leafs one. It's okay.
No.
If you're pulling up the Leafs one, I'm just saying.
There's a Leafs one?
There is a Leafs one. I'm going to bring it
Yeah,
up too.
we're not there. No.
Our promise to you, I already read that part. You fill the Garden every night, and we always know there's a strong showing from Rangerstown in every building across the league. We do not take your support for granted. We appreciate that you've stood by us, and we ask that you remain by our side as we undertake this exciting new chapter. Now, if I remember this correctly at the time, it was not well received because Rangers fans were in no mood.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the you fucked around and now you found out and we're pissed because we told you not to do this. Right? That's where they were at. And the Rangers since then have found an all-world goaltender. They've signed one of the best wingers of the last decade, probably the last 2 decades in Artemi Panarin, and they've made some unbelievably smart trades and gone through their fair share of criticism and a full management change, and they're still great. Like that's pretty good, right? Really
Yeah.
good turnaround.
And the thing that kicked off the letter, like 2 days before, they had asked Rick Nash for his no trade list so they could move him.
They did not screw around, by the way. I was looking for their trade history. So that letter came out February 8th. They made a trade February 9th with the Capitals. They got rid of Nick Holden. They got rid of Michael Grabner. They got rid of Rick Nash
There it is.
that they turned into Matt Bolesky, 50% retained, Ryan Spooner, Ryan Lindgren, 2018 first round pick that was Jacob Bernard Docker, and a 7th round pick, Massimo Rizzo, who won the 2018 award for most Italian. They got rid of Ryan Graves for Chris Begris. They traded Ryan McDonough and JT Miller, and they got Vlad Nemestikov, Brett Howden, Libor Hayek, Nils Lundqvist, who they have since traded for another first round pick from the Dallas Stars, Carl Henriksen. Good Lord. Like, that's just February 2018 that I said. And then they traded Jacob Bernard Docker, or the first round pick for Jacob Bernard Docker, and a 2nd round pick so that they could trade up in the 2018 draft. They turned that into Keandre Miller.
There you go.
They traded Massimo Rizzo, who again won the 2018 award for most Italian, for another pick. Holy crap. They did a shitload.
They have done unbelievable things. A lot of great asset management, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really great asset management. I'm going to bring you back to 2012. This by, I think, did we start? Yeah, 2013 is when we started. So this predates us by a year.
May 2013.
Where the Leafs owner, Lawrence M. Tannenbaum, OC, chairman of the board, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, wrote an open letter to Leafs fans after what was considered the first 18-wheeler to go off the cliff. This is under the Brian Burke regime.
That was easily the most disheartened I've been as a Leaf fan. Maybe that and the Habs loss.
Ownership, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Ownership believes in the plan for the Maple Leafs. All the resources at our disposal will be used to make sure the entire organization is focused on making the Leafs a successful playoff team.
That logo sucks.
We are 100% committed to ensuring we ice a team that competes with the NHL's best. Passion, hard work, accountability will always be the hallmarks of our organization. The Maple Leafs are privileged to have you as such passionate, loyal fans. We don't take it for granted. Our entire organization wants nothing more than to deliver a team that makes you proud. Now, that was done in 2012. The Leafs didn't make the playoffs again until they made the playoffs the next year in the shortened year, and then not again until 16-17. And people really didn't believe it until after Shanahan's first year, when Carlisle was gone, basically the Horacek thing. They bring in Mike I think the Mike Babcock signing, when remember Jeffler had that, where he checked in on...
Found his plane.
Found his freaking plane, the Leafs plane, that was flying Mike Babcock into Toronto to sign that contract. Then they drafted well. I think it was Nylander, and then Marner, and then Matthews. But it took a while.
And Lou.
Lou.
I found out Lou was Leafs GM before I knew he had left the Devils. It was a very quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm. And the problem at the time... And this is why the blog is named this way, by the way. Shout out to Pension Plan Puppets and the OG crew at the Pension Plan Puppets, because they wrote a hilarious article about it at the time.
They really did terrorize the league.
The
awesome.
Leafs were owned by the Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, who, depending upon who you believe, could really care less in the success of the team. They just wanted to make sure the pension fund was okay. And they spent money, but, it was sort of like the executives were a little asleep at the wheel for years. And most of the first 3 or 4 years of this podcast was talking about undoing that era of that. And then Pension Plan Puppets sold, Bell and Rogers bought that piece up, and here we are today. Now, the Flyers have done this open letter.
Today?
They did it a couple days ago, or yesterday.
Oh, 2 days ago?
2 days ago, February 6th.
How did I miss this?
John Tortorella wrote it.
Yeah, it wasn't even the Flyers.
No.
It was John's letter.
And I like this. I'm going to read it to you. To our valued Inside Edge members, at the beginning of the season, we set out to build a foundation for the future and a standard for how we're going to play night in and night out. And now that we're halfway through the season, I want to share with you what I've seen from our guys, and I've been very pleased with our team's effort, drive, and hunger to compete. Perhaps more importantly, and I hope you've noticed this too, I love the way the team has consistently responded to the challenges we faced as individuals and as a group. Throughout the locker room, our players are showing full commitment to getting it right. However, he goes on to say, I'm not going to lie to you. And I want to be clear about this. We're not there yet. This year was the first step in building the future of the Flyers and restoring our reputation as one of the most respected teams in hockey. We're in the thick of the season right now, and we're going to see how this group responds to the challenges that lay ahead with a grueling schedule. It's a grind. All of that is extremely important to see what we have and what we need to move forward with. So the letter's obviously much longer, but it thanks the fans. And he said, I can promise you this, the answers to those questions will come. You and I will find out together, and we'll be an even tougher team for having gone through it. Now, it's interesting. The Leafs coming from a bad team while we were doing this show. When you're a bad team and the players are sort of like, we're gonna trade some of these veterans for assets, the coach sometimes becomes the star player. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's it happened with Babcock in Toronto. It's happening with Torts in Philly.
He's the face of the team.
Not only that, though, this is what I respect, because the Leafs and the Rangers did it. The Rangers immediately turned it around. The Leafs, they took half a decade, but then they got it. The Flyers did something that I thought was super cool. Imagine you're a Philadelphia Flyers season ticket holder.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie O'Connor, who is a reporter for the Athletic, said, following up on yesterday's letter from John Tortorella to season ticket holders, the Flyers informed them today that 3 April home games will be, quote, on them, meaning that the season ticket holders will get a credit for those games that they can apply to the next season package.
What? That's pretty sick.
That's pretty cool.
Obviously, it's implicit admission that if the Flyers somehow went on a tear, they're going to take that back, because if they're going to the playoffs, obviously things change. But season ticket holders are so pissed off there that Philadelphia said, you know what? We're right. You're right. We're trying to turn this around. and we're going to do it.
But
I really respect that.
What were the expectations of the season ticket holders?
I think this is 3 years of building, right? It's what's happened since Chuck Fletcher got there.
The organization did not present this season like it was going to be a rebuild season.
Well,
you got to know better than that.
Yeah.
You know, after the Leafs, that I believe after that season that the Leafs wrote that open letter, the next year that they raised the prices of the tickets.
Yeah, obviously. When was the last time
that was a major news story in Toronto, though.
Yeah, they raise the tickets every year, though.
Yeah.
Fucking brutal.
Listen.
They did something.
All of this, you know what?
Give them that.
You're right to praise the Flyers
Oh, yeah.
for this. All of this is good. The letter is good. The crediting the games is good. Being honest with their season ticket holders and their fans about where they are as an organization is good. All of this is good. To me, it's still it's a very good letter and a very good gesture that's lingering in this lingering fart cloud that is the Ivan Provorov thing. And to like it's a shame. It's a shame because this was probably planned for a long time. I doubt it was just thrown together ad hoc.
I mean, there's some major financial considerations.
Yeah, like it's not just a letter. Like, yeah, you can. It doesn't take that long to write a thoughtful letter. But the fact that there are financial considerations in here, and they're given, like, I think they had this plan for a long time. But this is less than a month removed from a fairly major controversy that I said, watch, it's going to spread, and then sure enough, it spread to the Rangers. So, in a vacuum, it's extremely good. But I think there are probably a number of Flyers fans who are still like, yeah, whatever, fuck you. It's a step in the right direction, I suppose. Is that being a wet blanket on the thing?
I think it's being realistic about the situation. I think we're taking I wasn't, from my perspective, I was like, oh, that's a really nice gesture. And then I put it in the show lineup and that's it. But that's why I bring this up because you do have to look at it zoomed in on this one thing. Yeah. And then you have to pull out and look at it as a whole right now.
Yeah,
I think you can do both.
A bad thing doesn't mean you stop doing good things.
Right.
So this is a step in the right direction, but this would be so much more powerful, I think, for the organization had it not had this lingering cloud.
No, it's very interesting. Yeah, because we're coming off of a moment where we all look down at the Flyers organization, for their decision making.
Yeah. And we're going to get flamed by the regulars, and it's whatever.
That's fine.
I don't fucking care. But you can't tell me, like, I'm not a Flyers fan. I don't give a shit that they did this. But there are a number of your peers who do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pointing that out.
It's funny, the two organizations that we brought up here, the Rangers and the Flyers, are the same two ones that chose not to wear the jersey.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's
a
weird.
Stop copying each other's
coincidence.
homework.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Rangers, but on a completely different track, I did want to bring this up. There's a few players who are having unbelievable hot streaks right now.
Yeah.
Can you name the one on the Rangers I'm talking about?
DJ Zebad?
No. Come on, Jesse.
Panarin.
Phil Buscito.
Oh,
Mr. Hedl?
I saw Mr. Hedl score 2 goals against the Leafs.
12 games. In the last 12 games, how many goals does he have?
Well, at least 2. 10.
12.
Goals.
Wow!
I thought it was a goal a game.
He has 10 goals. How many assists?
4.
It's a lot lower.
6.
4 assists.
Wow!
Amazing. Okay.
Well done.
All right, now 34 shots on goal, 54% expected goal for.
Oh, I thought you were shooting percentage.
No. So Hedl, that's from Grav, by the way, who we love.
He's so good.
Grav's awesome.
I love Grav.
And I just thought, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. What a crazy number. And I heard, I know that the Patrick Kane to New York stuff keeps happening or whatever, and people and Chicago fans are like, give us that guy, and Rangers fans are like, you can keep him. You can keep Kane. We'll never give you that guy.
I swear last week we were talking about him re-signing in Chicago, and all I've read over the last couple of days is this the final couple of weeks of him as a Blackhawk?
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
That is odd. And
he's had such a down year. If the price isn't there, that's when you revisit that you come back for 1 year and we do this next trade deadline talk. Like if Davidson doesn't get the price he wants, then he's probably not going to trade him, and you bring him back. But if you can get the draft picks, you might as well do it.
10.5 is so damn hard.
Yeah, well, 50 of that.
That's so much money still.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5.25. Look at me doing math. Check out the big brain on Brad. But and then you get in a third team, and then you're getting even less because you probably need to facilitate that with a sweetener. And I don't know if this is the year. I just don't know if this is the year for him. Taves, yeah.
If you ask Jesse, it's the year. He's been on that New York subway train.
Came to New York? It's okay. Like, I don't know if that's what they need.
No, he's on the Rangers train, not the Kane.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what the Rangers necessarily
an all-in move for them. What would that look like?
Kane.
But maybe not the way Kane's playing. It's my thing with Ryan O'Reilly. Love the player. Had a bad injury.
Yeah.
Not crazy about the way
I feel like I'm in the minority where I think their top 9, there's so many interchangeable parts. And if Gallant coached a little differently, that you have enough pieces that you could just run with their forward group. I really like it.
We also know the Rangers pay close attention to their enemies, and the number 1 team in the Metro is the Hurricanes. The number 1 destination for Timo Meier right now appears to be the Hurricanes. And if I'm the Rangers, I'm trying to drive up the price on Timo Meier and maybe even get him myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That'd be good.
Imagine.
Yeah, how about you go get a cheaper guy who's having an amazing season instead of a shit one?
And a guy that's got control too.
Yeah, no one's ever said like, "Oh, we have too much good scoring." It's if your strength is scoring, like you could always double down on it.
I think that's the thing you do.
Yeah.
Rather than address a weakness, because like you're not going to fix the fact that you don't score or the fact that you can't defend with one move.
Mm-hmm.
You go out and strengthen a strength.
You know what I kind of hate about the Rangers? Can I just say?
Is their stupid jerseys, especially the Leech ones?
Their jerseys are great. The fact that New York is such a great city, like people love New York.
What's the building like on the inside specifically? I don't know.
Well, no, yeah.
You got robbed out front.
That's
I gotta go to a Rangers
verified Ticketmaster tickets. That's what we need to do. But I think I think it's almost like a very light restricted free agency for even unrestricted free agents. Like, who's going to New York based on what Kyprios told us years ago? Who's going to the New York Rangers making millions of dollars going, no, I don't think so. I'm waiting. If I'm a unrestricted free agent, can make all the money elsewhere, I'm waiting to just see like, if they do make me an offer, I want to stay. It's just, there's just something about New York. There's a magic to it.
Well, Adam, if you can make it there,
you can make a Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee cane.
I don't think that's the saying. You know what? Yes, it is.
But they're in the song together.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the Rangers go out and they get another winger, the third line's solid. The second line's great. You punch out somebody at the top with the right wing. It'd be good little lineup. Take you to Stanley Cup final.
Good Lord. Getting Meier, putting him on the right, pushing VC and Goodrow and Kako down.
Like, wow.
Yeah, and Sammy's been playing great too.
Dude, it's a
death
really
lineup.
good lineup.
If you add to it, man, dangerous.
Okay.
But yeah, the Hurricanes right now and the Devils who've not the Devils of the fall, but are still incredible. Like, that's a really tough division at the top. It's going to be a dogfight in the Metro. It's good.
Part of the reason we got to stop complaining about like, the Bruins and the Lightning, like the fact that the matchup is set sucks. But like, you got to beat good teams to win the Stanley Cup, man. Like, I don't know who told you otherwise. There's no easy paths to the cup, and you had one a couple years ago and fucking lost. So just try to win. I don't know what to tell you. Whoever's in front of you, you're in a best of 7. Try to beat them.
Has anybody done an explanation on the Devils' record on the road and why it's so weirdly good?
What is it?
They're at home. The Devils are 14-10-2. Nothing crazy.
Barely
on the
500.
road. They're 19-3-2.
What?
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up. Like, I haven't read any articles on it. but they've just been unreal on the road and just kind of so-so at home.
That's so weird because you see an amazing home record and you're like, oh, well, that's great coaching. But
So?
like you should be doing well at home then, and they're not. I wonder if they just had a stretch of home games where guys were out or something. That's so weird. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I
don't
say like,
understand that.
oh, they're not the Devils of the Fall right now. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Like,
Yeah, no,
no,
because
they are. They're good.
there have been a number of streaky teams this season. And the Devils are one of them. And because the schedule is so compact, blink and you'll miss it.
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, they're not the Devils of the Fall. Hottest team in the league.
Besides the team that's above them, the Hurricanes, who are 9-0-1.
Are you friggin' kidding me?
7 in a row.
Hey, if you think you know which way it's going to go, make your bet at Sports Interaction. Guys, Super Bowl 57.
What is that?
Woo!
You never heard of the Super Bowl?
No.
It's a bowl and it's super.
I've never heard of
You should
57.
check it out. You can get all the action at Sports Interaction. Pre-game, live and play. Prop bets are great. My favorite one is the Rihanna one. Which song is she going to lead with? And I think there's a healthy debate to be had about it. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. If you want to bet, it's sportsinteraction.com/STPN. Or in Ontario, you can download the app using the QR code on your screen. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Our next product, pretty cool. Jesse's a bit of a disciple, not going to lie. It's Athletic
every
Greens.
morning.
Every morning.
Every morning.
Now, does it keep you regular, Jesse?
Like my bowels?
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm going to
more,
ask you about your butt.
it's more about gut health.
Listen,
I
we're
find.
close enough. I can ask about his butt.
The prune juice is for the bowels.
Oh, okay.
The AG1 is for your gut health. And like I feel like it really regulates that.
75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. Jesse,
Yes.
if you were keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, or all, you could take this.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm not, but good to know.
I
Also
sit next to Jesse all the time. Never farts.
Yeah, never does, unless he's had cheese, which does not exist in this.
I gotta suck them back in.
1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals, artificial anything, and it all tastes great. So if you want to try it out, we want you to reclaim your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/SDP. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/SDP to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
That's the suck.
This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. Now, we've talked about this many times before. Mental health is extremely important to the three of us personally. We've all been to therapy. We've all had a lot of work to do on ourselves. And it's one of those things that when somebody comes to you and says, I'm considering this, I think I said this last week, usually they're well past the point of, I really need this, right?
Yep.
And it's going to make your life better. And I highly recommend it. Steve and Jesse do too. What do you think's the thing that you got the most out of it?
Ooh, coping skills.
Yeah.
I would say like just they in therapy is where you go to learn how to fish. They don't give you a fish. They teach you, man.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So if you want to check it out and you know, the great thing about BetterHelp is that you get it matched with somebody very quickly, which can often be a challenge. You can do it over text. You can do it over phone. You can do it over FaceTime. We want you to live a more empowered life, and therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/SDP to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/SDP.
Hey, I'm S.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is the Objective Basketball Podcast.
We've got your hot takes, objective takes,
And maybe even some bad takes that we'll regret later. But you can find us everywhere, streaming on all platforms. The first guy to average 25, 8, and 6 in NBA history to not make an all-star game.
And if I'm Toronto, I want Herb Jones. That's who I want. But everything that I hear about New Orleans and how much, I mean, they love Herb Jones so much. And so in my mind, I don't see he could get moved. I'm not going to say something's impossible because I learned that lesson.
The Objective Basketball Podcast, delivering the NBA to you like no other.
Okay. Steve, I need you to bring up your fantasy team.
Uh-oh.
For this next topic.
Uh-oh.
Is there waivers in fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In your fantasy?
Yes.
Okay. I want to know who your goalies are.
My goalies? I only have 2 right now because I typically like to use waivers to get goalies.
Mhm.
I have Linus Ullmark.
Oh, good goalie.
Extremely good, who I got on waivers.
Wow. What?
And yeah.
No, he
And-
wasn't starter. Swayman was. So Allmark also went undrafted in my league. He was also a waiver pickup by myself.
Oh, well done, guys.
I can't remember who I had. I drafted Demko because I was like, the Canucks will be okay. And
Yeah, I
he'll
remember
play
that
a
prediction.
lot.
Yeah, and then
And oops. I got Bobrovsky because he won a shitload of games last year. Again, oops. So Ullmark and my other guy is Vemelka because he plays so many friggin' games, and win or lose, he makes so many friggin' saves. He's ranked 63rd overall, like out of everybody in my fantasy league, and I'm holding on to him because I need him to get traded to a better team.
That wins category.
That wins category.
You're not
is-
winning that each week.
It's big. It's 4 points for a win.
Okay, you're not getting them.
now
I am. I got one last game against Minnesota.
How many games is
He's won 3 straight.
Yeah, but the Coyotes all season long, how many games have they won?
Eat shit. That's how many games. His last 3 games, he's allowed 3 goals.
I have a
including
better
shutout.
option for you, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
and you
yeah?
probably can get them on waivers.
The
Can I see
Coyotes
it?
have 17 wins
Can I
all
see
year.
it? How would I search waivers? Show me how to
Oh,
search
Grandpa. Let me here.
I don't.
You
Nobody
gotta-
let me into their fantasy league. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's all booked up." Oh, sorry.
you gotta
And I was
play
like,
players-
okay, well,
you
I
don't
want
play
to, but
fantasy, Adam.
not often. But I was ready to do it this year.
I'll arrange it by goalies. There you go.
Okay. Who do we have?
Who do we have?
John Gibson, Carey Hart, haha.
Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
Are you
that's
okay?
him. No. Philip Grubauer, Jake Allen, Cam Talbot, Nedeljkovic. Swayman is a really.
Yeah.
Billy
He hasn't been
Husso.
great.
Wow.
Husso-
That's
I know-
surprising.
I think I know who you're going to tell me to get.
Who do you think?
Noted Alan Walsh client, Yaroslav Halak,
No.
he's been like virtually undefeated
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, no, he has. He has. And I wouldn't say you shouldn't get him.
Steve
But
also has a 8-team league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a little light. Normally it's 12 teams.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, one guy that I think you should get in your league right now is a goalie who is 7-0-0 in their last 7. They have a
I know.
921 save percentage.
I know who you're talking about, and I got to shout out someone in my pool who, despite their better judgment, held on to them. Oh, it was Nikesh. It's the guy I'm playing this week. Jack Campbell.
That's right. Jack Campbell is 7-0-0, 921 save percentage. That is the goalie the Edmonton Oilers need. Maybe even like 80% of that guy would be great.
My fantasy only goes back to January 9th. He hasn't allowed more than 3 goals since at least then. His last loss was January 9th. Oh, he got pulled in that game. So, or either he got pulled or Skinner got pulled. I'm not sure, but he only faced 13 shots, so that's bad. But since then, undefeated. The Oilers are a problem, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were right to be critical of them when Campbell wasn't playing well and their defense looked terrible, but now they're getting saves from both guys. Their offense is ridiculous. Have you seen all the Hyman stats going around?
What about him?
Dude's going to score 100 points.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably going to outscore Matt. Well, he's definitely going to outscore Matthews. He's hurt. He might outscore Marner.
Yep. I've got the 15 players on track to score 100 points right now if you want to know.
Hit me.
Oh, nice.
No. You hit me.
Oh.
You guys name them. I'll tell you if they're on.
Well, McDavid.
Yep.
Draisaitl.
Yep.
Hyman. Is Hyman?
Yep.
Pasternak?
I'm not seeing him here. No.
Oh, shit. Not Crosby.
Kaprizov.
Crosby?
Oh, Kaprizov? That's a good one.
Yep.
I got it. Yeah.
Max missed too many games.
Panarin.
Oh.
Not on here. No. Just points percentage, right? Like it's points per game based. Doesn't mean that they can't. I'm just saying.
Sure.
You got 5 so far. It's pretty good.
You got 5.
There's a couple of big ones you should get.
Is Meyer on there? Probably not.
No.
He's having a really good
Crosby.
season.
Crosby, you already said, and he is
No.
on there.
Oh, he is on there.
Yeah.
I said no.
Malkin.
No.
Nah.
Not OV.
Think younger, and think emergent.
Jason Robertson.
Tage Thompson?
Both.
Robertson,
Oh!
Thompson, nice.
Somebody major who was traded this year.
Horvat.
No.
Who was traded this
Traded
year?
in this past like
Eichel?
Calendar year.
calendar year.
Eichel?
No.
He's been brutal.
He's been tailing off.
He got dropped in my fantasy recently.
Not Barkov.
trade?
Kadri?
No, but
Oh, Kachuk?
yep.
Kachuk's good.
He's doing all the scoring for the Panthers.
Shoot.
Now, what about my favorite team?
Hughes. There you go.
What about producer Drew's favorite team?
McKinnon.
Nope.
Rantanen.
Oh, yes.
Rantanen.
But, sorry, yes, both of those guys. So we're at 11 now.
Rantanen, McKinnon.
Okay.
Nice. Lightning Stamkos.
Okay.
Kucherov.
No. Somebody who is having an unbelievable vintage year. Vintage.
Jason Spezza.
No. Vintage year. Year where you go, oh my God, they're back.
They're old.
Vintage. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Vintage. Like somebody who's like made a resurgence. Like, oh my God. How can they play like this? We haven't seen this for years.
I don't know.
Joe Pavelski.
Giordano.
Eric Carlson.
Eric Carlson.
You idiots.
Makar.
McCarr's not on there.
Makar's
No,
not
he's
there,
in my
no.
fantasy team. No, he's not.
And then
Very upset.
Pasternak, sorry, was on there. So that's
Oh,
my
You
Pasternak.
son of a gun!
And then the other guy that will really surprise you.
Another Bruin?
No, a guy who's playing on a team that has been the center of most of the controversy this year.
A Seattle Kraken.
No, most of the controversy this year.
Seattle Kraken.
Across the ocean,
Everybody
but
talks about
across the lake.
Everybody
The
talks
Seattle
about
Kraken.
Oh, Vancouver Canucks.
Yes.
JT Miller.
Patterson.
Petters.
All of those guys. So
Is that
again,
it?
McDavid, Draisaitl, Kucherov, Pasternak, Kachuk, Thompson, Hughes, Robertson, Carlson, Rantanen, Kaprizov, Hyman, Crosby, Pedersen, and McKinnon are all on pace for 100 points right now. Doesn't mean more won't join them. Doesn't mean some of them won't fall off. But right now, thank you to the fourth period for that. Pretty wild.
I remember taking shit for suggesting Hyman should be on the Leafs power play. And look at him now.
You know what?
You son of a
You're
gun.
right. I think the problem with Hyman back then is he had stone hands. What? What'd you do?
Yeah, what are you laughing at?
What are you laughing at?
Steve's water bottle drips every episode, and the table is soaked at the
The
end.
table is not soaked, and I have the coffee cup
At the
underneath
end
it.
of every episode, the table is soaked.
It is soaked. Okay, so let me ask you this. And these are like IKEA tables, so we're not that worried about it. But like, why this? So Steve's got
I
like
need a different bottle.
Explain it for the audio people.
So
This is my hockey / bedside bottle. It's perfect for those things.
It has the hockey straw thing.
But
But Steve still like the thing with that straw is you're not supposed to put your mouth on it, but Steve does. He's like, sucky boy.
like, is it hamsters?
It's like a hamster.
A hamster, they have the thing up
Yes.
top.
Yes!
I need a different bottle. No.
Let me hamster it.
There's a lot of electric equipment in here. We've had a bad week with equipment, gentlemen. Thank you. Just want. Oh, there it is.
Squeeze that.
We should give him a wheel
There
to
you
run
go.
on
You gotta
too.
suck.
Some wood chips and a
There's
wheel.
no water going into the straw, so I can't.
So every time you drink from it, it starts dripping.
Bit of a drippy boy.
It's very funny.
You know,
Should we play a game of point a game when we get to the press conference?
Yeah, I'm down.
We've done that a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Okay. I want to ask you this.
fuck off.
Two things having to do with Calgary. Jesse, I don't know if you can find it, but the Mangiapane, I don't even know if we need to because everybody will
No.
have seen it. Mangiapane, was it a goal or not a goal?
It's a goal.
Explain
why.
Explain.
So explain what happened and explain why.
Okay, so he kicked it in. He did. But
Which can be done.
yeah, you're allowed to, and I think that's the frustrating thing with the rule that people don't understand is he kicked it. He obviously kicked it, and people will be like, his skate didn't leave the ice. He used the side of his skate. Okay, he kicked it. He did.
You can. It's called a toe drag, right? Like you can.
Yeah,
you can drag your foot.
He's
in a
trying to
kicking way.
stop. Like, you know, people are tweeting at me like he can't do more than one thing at once. He's trying to stop and also direct the puck in.
He's an NHL player. Of course, he can do more
He
than one
kicks
thing
it.
at once.
Like, he kicks it. The thing is, you're allowed to kick it.
Okay.
You are. You're allowed to kick it under certain, as long as you do it a certain way. He kicks it a certain way.
And what's
so
the way?
It's allowed.
What's the way?
It's with the side of his skate. He doesn't boot it. It's because his skate is along the ice. You can just call it a redirection.
Yeah, you're using the wrong word. Because you keep saying he can kick it. You're not allowed to kick the puck into the net. That's against the rules. You're allowed.
That's kicking.
You can redirect it if it bounces off your skate unintentionally. Is that not the rule?
If I redirect you in the shin, what are you going to call it?
Don't kick me in the shin.
Well,
if you kick me in the shin, that's illegal.
That's what
like,
he
we've been
did.
through this, right?
That's what no, I know, but that's what he's doing to the puck.
Yeah, so it should have
a kick.
been a no goal, but they called it a goal, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying you are allowed to kick it under certain circumstances.
It's a goal.
You're not
Based
talking
on
about
the rule, that is a goal. It's 100% a goal. Based on the rule. It's not a distinct
Do you have the rule?
Well, that is correct. I don't have the rule in front of me, but I know that's the rule.
Jesse. Are you fucking
Jesse
kidding me?
almost dropped water on his laptop. I want you to know that. I want you to know that.
One of the most ridiculous ones I remember from a few years ago. This is one where the Leafs had it reviewed, and I believe it counted. Is Kadri kicks his leg out like a ballerina. He kicks his leg out, like he's on stage.
Okay.
But the puck hits the toe of his skate after the kicking motion is done. So it counts as a deflection. So it's in. And I just want to know who's protected by that.
37.4. Can I read
I just
it?
want to know who's
Rule
safer
30
because that rule exists.
I always love this. You're going to be our Frege right now. Frege has always got let me get the...
Yeah, no, the quick Googles. I was like getting
Let's
the
go.
rules.
Let's get it.
37.4 of the NHL rulebook rule. Distinct kicking motion is the title of the rule. Plays that involve a puck entering the net as a direct result of a distinct kicking motion shall be ruled no goal. A distinct kicking motion for purposes of video review is one where the video makes clear that an attacking player has deliberately propelled the puck with a kick of his foot or skate and the puck subsequently enters the net. A goal cannot be scored on a play where an attacking player propels the puck with his skate into the net, even by means of a subsequent deflection off another player. I've seen that a bunch of times, using a distinct kicking motion. A goal also cannot be scored on a play where an attacking player kicks any equipment, stick, glove, helmet, etc., at the puck, including kicking the blade of his own stick, causing the puck to cross the goal line. That's essentially the rule.
You can't kick the puck to your stick?
And then it goes in the net. No. A goal cannot be scored on a play where an attacking player kicks any equipment at the puck. So you can't kick your blade to hit the puck and then go in.
Oh, so like your blade is on your skate.
Yeah. Right. Or like a helmet is on the ground, you kick the helmet and the helmet then hits the puck into the net. That's a kick.
Okay.
So Steve,
I thought you meant kick it to your stick. That is not on your. Yeah,
so Steve, you keep saying this is a kick. If it's a kick, then it can't be a goal, but they called it a goal.
Yeah, but they've never called back that specific motion. Like
So
if it's the side of your skate, the blade is on the ice, and you're not completely hoofing the thing.
Yeah,
it counts.
It's not a distinct kicking motion.
I don't particularly have a problem with that goal counting. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just these plays. There's a lot of inconsistency. Like I would be much cooler with that being a goal if it was a goal every time. You know what I mean? And it's just not. It's just not. Like goal, the kicking the puck in. Offside reviews are beautiful. Did you or did you not cross the line? Was it or wasn't it offside? It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking goals and goalie interference are where it's just spin the wheel. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. If they called that goal back, I wouldn't have batted an eye. I'd be like, yep, for sure.
But they call it a goal.
But they call it a goal, and I'm like, yep, for sure. Because there's no consistency, right? So it counted. I think it should count, personally. It is a kick. It's just not a distinct kicking motion. They add all these words, but really what it is was it a big kick or a little kick? It was a little kick. Good goal. It's a kick.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
I think by the way you're describing it, it should be no goal. Because we all know he redirected the puck into the net using a little bit of a kick.
Did he knock it into the net with his skate on purpose?
That, by definition of what I just read, is no goal. Why can't they get it right?
I don't know. You know what? I don't have a problem with it. Remember, we talked about it before. I think it's just as long as the blade doesn't lift, that's when it gets to be a safety issue.
Yeah, but did he kick it into the net? Did Mangiapane redirect the puck with his skate into the net? That is illegal.
Rather than answering Jesse's question, I'm going to sidestep it. And here's how I would word the rule. If you drag kick it, because a lawyer would write that, it's fine. But the second that blade comes up and it becomes a kitchen knife, no goal.
That's basically the rule.
That's how I would say it.
Kind of. Yeah.
That's how I would say it. Now, I want to move on because there's more that happened in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, at the end of the day, we feel like fighting's pretty much gone out of the sport already, but it's probably for the best, right?
Right.
What happened to the fighters in the 80s and the 90s when they inevitably retired is not great. Occasionally, though, a good fight is a good fight, and you go, man, I still enjoyed that.
And a good hit is a good hit.
Yeah.
A good fight the other night was the Wayne Simmons fight.
That was a good
When
fight.
he fucking clocked him one punch.
Wow.
AJ
And
Greer.
it was
Wow.
done. There
Wow.
was no more fight.
That was it was what a fight.
Yeah.
That goal should have been over, or that fight should have been over way before it was.
And if you think I'm a hypocrite for this, you're right. I'm still a human being. Most human beings are hypocrites. Do I want to see somebody have issues? No. But do I also like a big hit and occasionally a fight? Sure. And I want to say this. Okay, so I see the Trouba thing. The Trouba on Kadri. Before we get to whether or not it's a clean hit, the first thing I checked was, did play continue or did some dumbass come in and start a fight over that?
Mm-hmm. Second time.
Right. And it was Dylan Dubé this time. One thing I cannot stand about the NHL right now is when somebody lays a clean hit, somebody else is like, now I got to fight you. So, that is a dumb fight. This is dumb.
Dylan Dubé got hit by Trouba earlier in the night, but the sequence of events is bad. Trouba lays a clean hit. That's a clean hit.
That's a clean hit. Kadri even said it. Clean hit.
Dubé jumps in, gets the brakes beaten off of him.
Because Jacob Trouba is a monster.
You gave Trouba 2 wins.
That is full service.
3.
The Midas touch.
He hit him earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Oil
There's
change.
3.
All of that. And then if I'm not mistaken, the Flames got the instigator penalty. And that's what the instigator penalty is for. Right? I believe that's what happened. I'm not actually sure.
It is.
No, that is what
there
happened.
was they got a power play out of this.
And did they score?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think
Doesn't matter. They still got a power play.
Doesn't matter. They had an opportunity
Game was
to
2-2.
score. Now though, because I saw people pointing this out, and it's true, that happens to your team. A big player on your team gets their helmet popped off. First of all, with the speed of it happening, you're not assuming that's a clean hit. If you're on the ice with him, you're probably like, you dirty fucker, I'm going to beat your ass.
Trouba does have, people hate Trouba.
Yeah, of course.
Players around the league hate Jacob Trouba.
Of course, because he throws some dirty and some borderline hits, and some of them look like this, which are friggin' beautiful. Beautiful. That's a beautiful
That's
hit.
a solar plexus.
How did Kadri get up?
Because he's a fucking beast.
Jeez. He got up right away.
Because
no problem.
He said, I took it like a man. Just get up and get your helmet's off, get off the ice.
I don't think his eyes ever closed. Dude.
They did score.
They did score.
Yeah.
They
did score on the instigator minor.
But
it was Zabinajad potted a goal.
How many Flames fans, and imagine this happened to your team, imagine this happened to a Leaf. How many Leaf fans?
It happens to Matthews.
Holy shit.
It happens to Marner.
And that is the equivalent. And no one jumps in.
Well, that would be watching the Leafs.
Right.
Up until this year, honestly.
But no one's got like that. Imagine someone hits Tavares. They hit Tavares, and that's roughly the comparable here in terms of age and everything. Imagine someone hits Tavares, perfect hit, clean hit, but his helmet pops off, and no one responds.
I've seen that.
This city would be half burned down.
That's true.
This morning. Now, some people would say, okay, so you get into a fight, you take the penalty, and you get scored on, and people go, that's the price you pay. I don't know. But if you're the Rangers, this is all beautiful. I don't know if Jacob Trouba had a problem with being off the ice for 5 minutes. He laid a beautiful fucking hit. His team got a power play. His team scored on that power play. And did they win the game?
Yep, overtime 5-4.
They won the game.
Yeah,
I don't think Jacob
Markstrom
Trouba
got no help on the OT goal. I don't know if you saw it, but it was brutal.
No.
Yeah, I'll play for you.
I'm not totally surprised with the way Calgary's played that was the case. I
mean,
do
it's-
want to say
it's
this. I do want to say
3-on-3,
this.
but-
I think the whole thing with the analytics debate over the last, it's now been a decade, has been like, well, hitting's out of the game. No, stupid hitting's out of stupid hitting is out of the game because what's happened, Jake Trouba, as much as you may love him as a Rangers fan or hate him if you're everybody else, is an intelligent hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does he what he did to Tennessee earlier this year? Obviously, was a dirty hit. Okay, he was off his skates. It was on the head. Like everything was wrong with that hit. I grant you.
He's had a couple hits this year where he clearly left his skates.
2 hits, guys, caused them to win the game. Because if they don't have that. Hold on, no, seriously, stop the play for a second because I need you guys to hear me.
You're right about the no help.
I know, but Steve is
sorry.
Steve's he is one focus.
All right.
Trouba throws the hit on Dylan Dubé early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Tanev fights him.
Then,
Brandon.
Brandon Tanev. Yeah.
Eyes McGee.
No, Chris.
No, Chris Tanev.
Brandon's in Seattle.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Yeah, Chris
Tanev fights him.
Chris Tanev fights him, so he's already got a fighting major. Then he throws another hit, and Dylan Dubé's pissed off from before, and probably knows he's going to lose that fight, but then he gets the instigator. If the Rangers don't get that goal, that game doesn't go to overtime. The Flames win that game. And let me just say this. Intelligent hitting in the NHL, ones that get inside your fucking brain where you're like, I want to win this game, it's I want to fucking kill that guy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of hitting that, guys,
skill.
You hate on Brad Marchand for it.
Yep.
You know who else is really good? Guy who could get traded. Luke Shen.
Yeah.
Really intelligent hitter.
Grinds you along the boards.
Yeah. You're no longer thinking about, okay, what's the right play here? How do we win this game? What play do we got running up the ice here? You're thinking about, I just want to go kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like your focus is completely out of the hockey.
I'm not going to play who cares about the puck? I'm going to kill this guy. And what do you always say about Tom Wilson and players of his type?
They're the market inefficiency now. And I said it years and years ago.
Is Jake Trouba not the same on defense?
Oh, 100%. And it's weird because, I was talking to a Jets fan. I was talking to Brady with Game Over Winnipeg. I was like, when did he decide he was the biggest hitter in the league? Because, I know he was, always sort of, hard-nosed, and you did have to watch out. But at some point last year, I think it was just the beginning of last year, he's like, I think I'm Scott Stevens, actually. And he just, you can't go more than 2 weeks without a huge Jacob Trouba hit.
I haven't seen hits like this since Phaneuf was a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
underrated.
Throws hits like
underrated part of that whole storyline. That's their captain.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn cool.
He just won you the game.
That's the captain of the team who lays hits like
Who's
that.
not who is not going to war for that guy?
Yeah, usually hey, your captain's the skilled guy who's getting knocked over, and then the tough guys come in and stand up for him. No, this is the captain who lays the hits and then fights for his team.
So I'm understanding a little bit better now why there's the discourse about why does he have to fight every time. I didn't realize he had to do it twice in a
it's
single
a little
game.
much. Both were clean hits.
It's stupid. It's
I haven't seen the Dubé hit.
I understand too that you don't know in the moment if it's a clean or a dirty hit, but sometimes you're like, oh my God, can a guy just throw a hit and we keep playing hockey?
Well, people talk about the speed.
Yeah. It happens so fast.
And if I'm Dubé and I got hit earlier in the game and it's Kadri and his helmet pops off, I mean, based on the culture in the sport, I think you kind of have to.
I guess, yeah. I guess you do. I get that. I just thought I'd bring it up.
Oh, that's the Dubé.
This is
Whoa!
the Dubé one. So he's going
and he
across
tries
the blue
to
line.
stop up.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he has the puck.
Boy.
Trouba's like, you have the puck, I'm coming for you right
and
now.
both times.
And then
So
Tanev
Trouba
hops
had to
in.
fight twice in this game.
Yeah.
And it's Tanev, who I believe has a concussion history,
This
so you
fight-
don't want him fighting.
This fight wasn't very good. It kind of fizzles out, and then
It's a grapple.
The refs hop in. Yeah, they don't even go to the ground or anything.
And both hits, tie game.
I think Tanev's just trying to tie Trouba up there. He isn't. He's not Tanev does not even try to take a swing.
I think you're more upset if you're a Flames fan that they fought him twice and I don't think landed a punch.
Oof.
Like that's 5 minutes
Look.
for Tanev. That's 5 minutes
and
for
Trouba misses
Dubé.
a couple. Oh, he does throw some. Okay.
You got a
Trouba
penalty
misses a
on the first
swing
To
off
do
the
this at
stop.
home, too. Imagine how electric that crowd must have been.
Madison Square Garden. He lights up 2 flames and then, well, he definitely wins.
Do
the
New Yorkers
second
like a
fight.
good brawl? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Man. Oh. God, you
Good
I
hockey.
want to see a game in Madison Square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
what's that like?
Yeah, I don't know. I got a couple more things I want to hit,
Is that
guys.
in the book?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I think that got cut from the book. Go well, because there's lots of stuff I wrote that not all of it
Is
made
there
it
Mazda
in.
negotiation in the book? Or?
I don't think so.
It's got to make the next one. It's so
It should
good.
be.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, search Steve Dangle Mazda negotiation. Trust me, it'll come up. Now, it's one of my favorite moments from the show. Steve, Jesse, couple more items before we hit the press conference, okay? First one is just a random fact. Okay? How many games into the season are we, basically? 50 to 53, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. Okay. Just so you know, here's how good the Atlantic Division is. The Boston Bruins could lose every single one of their final 31 games in regulation, and they will still finish above 500 this season.
How many points do they have right now?
80 something, 86, I think. 84, 86.
Gee. Holy shit.
The Leafs are like second or third in the league or something like that, and they're like 15, 16 points behind them.
The Bruins need like 5 wins to clinch a playoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah. They could clinch like next week.
Holy shit.
Would they be the first team to clinch a playoff spot before trade deadline?
Nah, because I don't think they'll mathematically clinch it. But like you said, they had 86 points.
Once they hit 100 points,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's the beginning of February.
even 96, I think you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year you needed over 100. But last year was a bit of a weird...
It was a weird year.
Yeah,
There's a
that
lot
was
of
a weird
have
one.
and have not last year. Pretty wild.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Fastest team to clinch a playoff spot.
It's gonna
The
be like,
Islanders in 78-79, 25 games before the end of the season.
Okay.
Is
yeah.
what?
And they would not be able
That's
to do
the
that.
first
And the thing
result
is, too, back then,
on
though,
Google.
to be fair, if you missed the playoffs, you were on the... Like, there was only like 3 teams in each conference that missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
When you look at the Toronto Maple Leafs not making the playoffs in the 80s, there's a reason why Leafs fans from them were so down on them. Because like 8 teams made it out of 11.
well, and even some of the years where they made the playoffs, they were like wildly below 500 and just
Not a chance.
slid in.
Crazy. Last one, and I really like this one. Hey, Adam, I heard on Monday's podcast, it's from my DMs, that you were surprised at having some international listeners. So I thought you'd be amused to know that you have a listener or listeners in Malta.
Hey,
I'm curious if you guys know where this is. Of course, we know where Malta is. Absolutely. I'm an Isles fan, and I started hate listening to you guys after the Tavares saga.
No way.
But I found you guys entertaining. She said, I have a really interesting challenge you may like. This may be for another episode, but I love this anyway. If you could draft a starting lineup of only European players in their prime from any era, would really enjoy that.
All-time
We should-
Europe team?
All-time Europe team, we should do that. But today's not the day because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But Rebecca, by the way, shout out to Rebecca from Malta. Hey, shout out to Rebecca from Malta, which I hear is a beautiful vacation spot as well.
Steve, how close is your family to Malta? Is it? Are you
not.
southern? Are you southern Italy?
we are Southern, but we're more the Achilles tendon of the boot.
Which part of
Which part?
Calabria?
Puglia.
Puglia.
Puglia de Foggia.
Where am I looking?
The Achilles tendon.
Up here?
Yeah, you never seen a boot?
Oh my god! So you're not that south. You're not like Palermo.
We're Southern half.
You're not White Lotus. So.
Ask the Northerners what they think of us. They think we're South.
No.
Puh.
All right, Santino.
like Furio from The Sopranos.
Where are your suspenders, Santino Morella?
Power walk.
Yeah, you gotta get the claw out.
Snake.
The snake.
How dare
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a good Santino.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy. Listener in Malta. When I was in Greece this summer, watching sports is wild because everything's like the Jays games are 2 a.m. I don't know how you're a hockey fan in Malta.
Well, I'm always blown away. Like you think about all the people from Finland and Sweden and that sort of thing that we hear from. They're like, yeah, There's a big one on Leafs Twitter, Victoria Stewart, I believe her name is, and
Yeah.
she's like, they're watching at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, that is devotion, man.
Yeah.
That's fandom. It's crazy.
Like I watch F1 now every Sunday it happens, and occasionally there'll be the race that happens at like 6 or whatever, but that's twice a summer.
Yes.
You know, I gotta wake up at 6 and watch a race.
Yes.
So
and TSN always runs it at 9 o'clock anyway.
yeah, so You can have it on at your regular time.
And just
But
stay off the internet.
these hockey games on Sky Sports or whatever, they're not running them again in the morning
No.
for all the hockey fans. There aren't that many.
Mark Rackham, I believe, flew from England to watch the Marlies win the Calder Cup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
cool.
Mark UK Leaf?
Yes.
Man.
Devotion.
Love that.
Devotion, man.
I just think it's really cool, and you know, it speaks to the potential that hockey has, right?
Sure.
It really does. Hockey is such an awesome game. It's so fucking cool. There's so like
What is it?
I just
It's-
love
what is it, man?
It's fucking cool.
Is it rad?
What do you call it? A bunch of guys on knife shoes
Yeah.
firing a disc. Like, Jesse, you've got the disc right there.
Like, listen, we
Got a
complain.
disc, hockey disc.
Like
we
a
complain
compressed-
about the NHL. Whoa. We complain about the NHL. You fucker. No, stop it. We complain about
almost
the
spoken
NHL, but like the number one weapon the NHL has is hockey.
It's the
sick.
best. It's the
It's sick.
sickest. They take a compressed tire and knife shoes, and it used to be an old tree, and now it's just carbon fiber. But like, I
Used
don't
to
know.
be
Fucking love
a cow poo, wasn't it?
Yeah. What is
Road
it?
apple.
Road apple.
Clap my
shit
science
bombs.
teacher, Mr.
Clap
Allen.
shit bombs like a man.
All right, let's do the press conference.
All right.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
So for today's press conference, before we leave here today, put down. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Don't touch my things. We're gonna play a game of Point a Game. This is the second time we're gonna play this. I believe Steve won the first time.
Of course.
Of course.
And he should win.
Did I?
If I win, Steve's happy. Steve's sick.
If you are not familiar with how this game works, Adam Mild and Steve Dangle go back and forth and name players who are currently on a point a game pace. So they have scored as many points as they have played games, at least that amount. Now, it is open to everybody. If you're not familiar with the rules, you can play. You can name a player who's played one game and scored 1 point. 15-15. As long as they are a point a game player, they count. First person to lose and not name a point a game player loses the competition. All right,
Who's
you guys
starting?
ready?
Okay.
You're gonna start with your free square.
Connor McDavid.
Leon Draisaitl.
Well, shit. Zach Hyman.
Rantanen.
McKinnon.
Carlson.
Kaprizov.
Pasternak.
Kucherov.
Oh, you want me to do a check there?
Yeah. I
You
think
just told me that he's on a 100-point pace.
No, I didn't.
I didn't. First of all, I did not bring
and
that
he's
to the
also
table.
not on that list.
You said he was on that list.
Kucherov is not on that list.
You son of a gun. I thought you said Kucherov.
No.
Are we gonna get an Adam Wild upset?
No.
We need a review.
No.
We need a video
Kucherov's
review.
going at a more
Kucherov
than-
has scored 75 points in 50 games.
Of course.
Which is a pace of what?
it must
A
be.
lot of points of games.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if he's
beat
on
you
that
both
list.
up.
All right, Adam, you're up.
Okay. Jason Robertson.
Did we say Erik Karlsson?
Yes.
Okay. Austin Matthews.
Tage Thompson.
I forgot him. Mitchell Marner.
Mm-hmm. Matthew Tkachuk.
Have we said Elias Pettersson?
No, we haven't.
Elias Pettersson.
I'm waiting for you guys to get through the list we already run through.
Yeah,
I know,
All
I'm
those
trying to
names,
remember it.
First 15,
and then
right?
we'll get to the competition.
Ah, man. Because here's the thing. Like, I want to say a name like, and I'm not going to say it yet, but I want to say a name like Tavares. But I know he's always right on the line.
He's right on the
That's
line.
Yeah.
that's too close for comfort.
Also,
You know?
Adam, Kucherov was on your list
Oh, he was?
because Kucherov currently is third in the league in points
Okay,
for
so
75.
I guess I must have messed the list up. I apologize.
No, I think
I
you
missed
might have
the
said
said
it.
his name!
Yeah, you said it in the list.
list. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the list up in front of me.
Yeah, no, you had said it in the
I
list.
have it right here.
75 points in 50 games. He's third in the league. He's 1 point back at Draisaitl. Kucherov's having a
man.
great season.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, it's nobody on the Florida Panthers but Matt Tkachuk. I know that.
You already said Mike Kucherov.
Steven Stamkos.
Well, we want to do a check?
Do a check.
Steven Stamkos is 57 and 50.
Woo!
Point a game.
He's close.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, Steve? Point a game player.
Oh no!
There's a lot of people who are barely.
I know. This is
under.
where it gets scary, right?
Yeah.
Screw it. Timo Meier.
Ooh.
Timo Meier has played 52 games, and he has 51 points.
Oh!
Adam Wild, everybody.
1 point. Fuck.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
I hope the Leafs don't trade for him now.
The series is tied 1-1.
Yeah.
Steve! You really do like the Leafs.
Oh, hey.
You
question.
love choking.
My first. Can we do a check? Because my next name was going to be Bo Horvat.
Oh, I don't think so.
I wasn't sure.
I don't think so.
No, you would have got it. Played 51 games, 55 points.
Yeah,
you would have been good.
I would have been good for at least another round. I was running out of gas, man. Running out of gas.
As always, there's some obvious names you haven't said.
My next was Panarin.
Like Nathan McKinnon, who's 55 and 38.
We didn't say McKinnon?
No. You could have gone Willie. Willie's 59 and 52.
Oh, you fucking idiot.
That's a good one. Darlene.
I didn't even say the highest scoring Leaf.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
You fucked that up.
I'm upset.
Malkin,
really?
even.
I think we tried.
Morrissey, probably.
We tried to stay away from the Leafs a little bit just to be like, we're trying.
Yeah, you guys trying to get like hipster with it. Just fucking say the obvious name. Morrissey would have hit. No, Tavares barely misses.
Oh,
Tavares
he's always a barely miss.
52 games, 51 points.
He's like the Matt.
he's like Meyer.
He's like Matt Sundin. It would always be like 80 points in 82 games.
Yeah.
I want to say the last time we played this game, he was just over, and he's been a little colder, so I figured he was under.
Yeah.
Shit.
You could have done like Barkov.
Tamo, you fucker. You fucker.
I guess, Barkov.
Steve.
I'm very upset.
Adam Wild.
I want to throw this out there. I meant to mention this in the show. Remember the Chikrin thing we talked about last episode about him scrubbing his Instagram profile?
Yes.
According to Craig Morgan, and this is from Rose Ford, who's one of our Coyotes listeners, and she subscribes to Craig's thing, so this was behind a paywall. She's like, I don't expect you to know this, but I want you to know.
Oh.
He said, I already know what you're going to ask me. Chikrin didn't scrub the Coyotes from his social media accounts during the All-Star break. He did that at the end of last season when he and everyone else thought he was going to be traded at the draft. He said it's just that nobody noticed. By the way, there are still some prevalent photos of Chikrin in a Coyotes uniform on his social media accounts, which is true. As for those players he supposedly just followed, he says he has followed them for a long time. That's no surprise. The NHL Brotherhood is a web of relationships.
Well, how about, Craig, you shut your pie hole?
Also, I just did find it weird that Kyprios, 4 Domies, Matthews, and Marner were all just grouped together at the top of the recently followed list.
Yeah. Also, can I clear up something from last episode?
Yeah.
I said 84 games makes the most sense because it goes into 32 perfectly. It doesn't, not math-wise. 32 doesn't divide into 84. It's the games. Everyone would play the equal amount of games. I wasn't speaking specifically about the math.
I figured that's what you meant. I know 32
really should
times.
not have to specify that.
Yeah, but I said 84 goes into 32 perfectly. It's because if you play your division games 4 times, so we get home and away in your division. Everybody plays home and away. That's 4 times. You play your out of division 3 times, so you alternate your home and away. Each team gets an extra, and then you play your out of conference 2 times. It's 4, 3, 2, and it goes 32 teams goes into 84 perfectly through that schedule. The NHL is never going to do it that way, but 84 and 32, it works. Your games perfectly symmetrical for each division. It's perfect.
There you go.
That's what I thought. That's what I meant by 84 goes in 32. A lot of people got on. They're like, you don't know math. That's what I meant. It's my fault for just saying it.
Yeah.
No,
Idiot.
it's not.
Idiot.
It is.
Idiot.
No, that information
I'd
was
rather
out
call him an idiot. Idiot.
I think it was in the thread that Miller was kind of talking about Gordon Miller, right?
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, listen. A lot of fun today.
Yes.
A lot more going on for Friday, including potentially an NHLPA head person announcement. We're going to save that story until it's actually announced. But we're going to get into it at some point.
Live show in Guernsey.
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.